Hey everyone, I'm the Shadow of the Hawk, and welcome back to my channel. This is just a quick little review. I just finished watching Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. The thoughts are fresh in my mind, and the biggest takeaway from watching these episodes is it should not be Rebels 2 Electric Boogaloo. That right there is the biggest defeater of the show, in my opinion. Why? Well, because two of the three primary characters, I'll get to Ahsoka in a second, don't feel like the characters they were in Rebels. They feel completely... Hera, as described by Joker Voice, go check out his channel in the description below, feels like a plank of wood. She lacks the spark, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, of Hera. And then it's a very similar thing with Sabine. She doesn't feel like Sabine Wren. She feels like generic bad girl number 6, which, okay, if you want to say, well, she's grown as a person, why is she more immature than she was in Rebels? Like, you can't have your cake and eat it. Either she has grown as a person or she's a completely different character. And that's what it feels like. It feels like Hera, and it feels like Hera's meant to be more of like a under fire, cool under fire, like just generic bad bitch general character. And Sabine is not meant to be Sabine, but they just randomly made her Sabine so they could have the Ezra connection. And I really don't like that. It just, if you're going to use pre-existing characters, try to have a more natural progression of what they are if there's a massive time skip. Or give context why they would be this way. Like, losing Ezra, yeah, that would definitely hit hard, but it wouldn't cause her, who has been through a crap ton before losing Ezra and had 5 years, or no, not 5 years, more like what? Like 10 years to deal with it. Like, it doesn't fit right. And then Ahsoka is again, this may just be because someone brought this up to me, but Ahsoka doesn't feel like Ahsoka. She doesn't have the same positive energy, for a lack of a better way to phrase it. She feels too grown up, which, I mean, yeah, she's an older character, but the formative years of her life were spent with Anakin freaking Skywalker. She's about the same age as Anakin as when he was in the Clone Wars, or maybe a little bit older. Anakin was still happy-go-lucky, jolly good guy, despite having probably as many bad experiences as Ahsoka. So she shouldn't be this, like... It's not like she's depressed either, or just completely defeated. It's just she's more reserved and stoic and just badass bad bitch, for lack of a better way to phrase it. And that's not Ahsoka. I mean, she's more Ahsoka than Sabine or Hera are Sabine and Hera. At least Chopper stayed consistent going from this to that, or from going from Rebels to Ahsoka, so there's that. But another thing I noticed, and this is really bad, and this is a trend that a lot of things seem to have recently, is that I'm finding the villains more fun and fascinating than the heroes. Because the hero plotline are all like, oh, I don't want to be a master. I don't want to be an apprentice. Oh, it's been so long, and I need you to open up this map, and then 10 minutes opening a map, and it's just not interesting. Whereas, like, minus the fact that the witch shouldn't be a witch of Dathomir because she doesn't look like a witch of Dathomir. The witches of Dathomir, well, for one, they're bald, but Marin from Fallen Order kind of changes that. But, like, they have a more alien appearance. They don't look like old Asian lady, and yet they have an old Asian lady playing a witch of Dathomir. This feels like what they did with the Pikes, where in Clone Wars, the Pikes have like very big bulbous fish heads. Well, no, not fish heads. They have like big bulbous heads, and then they're just fishies in Boba Fett. It's weird. It's weird to look at. Or the Trandoshans in Book of Boba Fett, how they look like little beta. I didn't even realize those were Trandoshans. I thought they were some other lizard species. But, like, aside from that nitpicking, like, this feels like a Star Wars show. Like, the shot of, like, when Ahsoka is going to meet up with Home One, and it starts off with, like, an outpan of Home One and the broken ship and the X-Wings flying by, and then just Ahsoka, like, a few moments dedicated to Ahsoka flying through the space. That feels like the original trilogy and the prequels to me. That feels like Star Wars. And then, like, you actually get on the sets and on the deck and all, like, the cinematography, everything just feels so good compared to some of the other shows where you can, like, tell that, hey, this is like a small set or the camera work just isn't the best. With this, it feels so freaking good. Even the choreography, like I'm one of those jackasses where I slow things down to see if the choreography works even in slow-mo, and it's good. There's no like BS like missing or like everything that went into actually crafting the show, perfect. The villains, minus the witch, perfect. The main characters and the main story being a continuation of Rebels is the biggest issue I have. And then the Night Witch not being a night, or the Night Sister not being a Night Sister is the second biggest issue I have. What I really, really think they should have done is first, the Night Sister should be a new character. It shouldn't be the one from Mando season 2. And then they shouldn't have Hera and Sabine involved. Because by adding them into this, they're just not Hera and Sabine. And if, well, but we need them to connect to Ezra and Thrawn, then just don't bring up Ezra and Thrawn. Have some other stuff. Have like some other big bad. Now, granted, that would mean going back and changing up Ahsoka's motivations from season 2 Mando. So it's just like the whole setup of this being a continuation of Rebels is really what's killing this show, in my opinion. Because if, or hell, like this being an Ahsoka show in general. Because imagine if this was like some random Jedi, like another Jedi who had survived Order 66 and was having to like play it like, come on, Luke, okay, we got to do some shit. Or a Padawan who survived, kind of like Kanan, and is like trying to track down this like ancient Sith like relic or something, or like this ancient Sith plot, and then you got the Dark Jedi doing the exact same thing. Like that would be very interesting. But the fact that this is because of Filoni, this is because Dave Filoni wants this to be Rebels season 2 Electric or Rebels series 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's being hamstrung by the necessities needed to be Rebels 2 Electric Boogaloo, which sucks because there's a lot of details that are set up that you can only really understand if you watched Rebels. Like you can only really know who Ezra is. You can only really know who Thrawn is. You can only really know like why these characters interact and know each other as well as they do because you watched Rebels. But if you watched Rebels, these characters don't feel like they are in Rebels. So who was this show made for? I really don't know. It was made for Filoni. Actually, the answer is it was made for Dave Filoni. This is Dave Filoni's fan fiction. This is all Dave Filoni. Now, that's just me, everyone. I don't know. If you hated this video, leave a dislike down below. Leave a hate comment. If you like this video, leave a like. Leave a comment down below. If you want to see more of my videos coming up, hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell so you'll receive notifications. And tune in for whatever projects I got coming up. Tomorrow night, Friday, the 25th of August, will be Friday Night Royal Rumble. Catch me over on Legion Talk, or I might be simulcasting it over here. I don't really know. And thank you all for watching. If you got to this part, have a good day, and hopefully see you next time. Peace.